Good evening, Fulham fans, to another podcast of Live by the River as we review the 2-2 draw between Fulham and Liverpool at Craven Cottage. So, Tomo, what were your feelings at 93 minutes and 52 seconds?
Here we go again. Typical Fulham.
Yes, the old narrative rears its ever too familiar head yet again. But, listeners, was there any change in our feelings at 96 minutes and 15 seconds?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes,
and this was totally against the usual Fulham narrative where we actually draw level in the very dying moments of the game, and it was such a life-affirming goal that I probably now, like any Fulham fan, have replayed that goal quite a lot. Anyway, and also for any cynics or mean-spirited souls out there, just let Fulham fans have their moment. You know, you may scorn the fact that this was a draw at home, so why are we so wildly, deliriously happy at this draw? Because Liverpool are a great side. I know at the moment that I think people feel that they're slightly in the doldrums, but all great sides have that. And to come away with a draw, and the way it happened, is just an amazing feeling.
Is anyone complaining about the over-celebration? I think that's absolutely fair enough. That's arguably going to be the goal of the season, to scrape a draw when you thought all was lost. I mean, felt like an appropriate reaction to me.
Oh, I think so. And I think that's like it's been well, recorded that Fulham actually haven't won anything apart from obviously the Intertoto Cup. And like the majority of football clubs, they haven't won much. And you don't support Fulham for glory. You support it because maybe tradition in your family, or because you love the
because you're
Cottage,
forced to, basically,
or because it's your destiny.
Yeah, well.
And you know you're in it for the long haul. You know that you're probably never going to win a trophy. So these moments are so special to Fulham fans, and that's why we're kind of glorifying in it slightly.
Well, I'm sure we'll get on to the actual game. But
yes, we will at some point.
Who it was kind of added a layer of how special it was. I mean, Harrison Reed, he's just such a servant of the club. And, I do think sometimes that word does get thrown around, but he really, really has been in the trenches with us. Yeah. And he's just been such a solid performer. And, there have been times where we thought, okay, maybe we need to move him on. I remember there was a game last season where he came on in a similar situation against Brighton and added time. And he came on, he gave away a penalty, and it was like, maybe this is it. What more can he offer? And then to do this, which is undoubtedly the greatest moment of his career, because it's unbelievable. He's achieved so many great things, Harrison Reed, but it's so nice that he has this definitive, I did this, I scored a worldie that is going to take some beating to have a better goal this season. Wilson must be very annoyed because he scored some belters this year and they don't come close to that, unfortunately. So that makes it even more special that it was Harrison Reed that actually got the goal.
And what was really spooky is that, do you remember when he came on? So it was around about the 91st minute, he came on for Lukic, and you actually said something really prescient because you said, oh, poor Reed.
Well, it wasn't prescient because it was wrong.
Well,
I said,
it was
what can he do? It's not fair on him, a defensive midfielder.
I think he heard you.
To just throw him on in this scenario. I mean, for his career, he's the sort of player where he kind of needs accumulated minutes. It's not fair to just throw him on. No. And then with his second touch, he does the best touch of the season so far. So, what do I know? I mean, what an unbelievable moment and goal. But And
what was really wonderful is that the team really kind of joined in with it all, and there was no mean-spiritedness. It was just like, they were so genuinely pleased for him. And that was...
Even Traore celebrated.
Do you know that I was going to say that? It's the only time I think I've ever seen him smile and look really happy when we scored. And did you, when he was doing, Reed was doing his arcing run after he'd scored, he did that beautiful curve. And then did you see Adama literally just nudge him? And he literally like launched to the left-hand side. And then just carried on running towards the fans. So, yeah, that was a bit of a revelation seeing that as well. So, yeah, sorry, listeners. Let's just try and unpick the match. There was actually a game. And I genuinely was fairly pessimistic.
So should we talk about the system? Because it was a 3-4-3, wasn't it, really?
What do you think that this was a missed opportunity that we set up so defensively, considering, and I don't necessarily agree with this, considering that Liverpool aren't up and running quite as they were?
So initially, when I saw the lineup, I thought that is a little bit pessimistic, and I agree with you. I think Liverpool at home, this is a game we can really go at them. They're in a vulnerable moment. I mean, I know they were unbeaten. They had an unbeaten run, but they had a lot of draws in that run. But then really, given the pattern of the game, we were quite offensive, and we did let Liverpool have the ball quite a lot. Yeah. So the possession stats obviously in Liverpool's favour, but I really think on the counter we were very positive. And if you actually look at the state of play, whenever we have the ball, the wing backs are pushed right up. I mean, Castagna was barely playing as a right wing back. He was essentially a right winger. And we were really putting them under pressure. And I think it was a very disciplined performance. And I thought Kearney, who got that start after getting us that point against Palace, I thought he did a decent job, especially in that first half. I thought we were the better team in the first half than them. They just really lacked any dynamism.
They just looked really off the pace and sort of...
They had no width, did they?
Yeah, it was a really odd...
No real winger, because Gakpo, the only real winger, was up front. And then on the right, you had Szoboszlai, who's always coming inside. You have Wirtz on the other side. So you have just this glob of midfielders, all technically brilliant, as we know, but they all want to do the same thing. So you just end up having absolutely no width. And then I think Silva's system did a good job in pinning Kerkez back, because Kerkez usually would be the one overlapping, but Castagna was pressed on so high that was obviously something that we knew in training for this game. So Silva did a good job, really, I thought. I don't look at this and go, if he'd have just gone with a different system, we'd have battered them. I actually think, even though we scraped a draw, we were quite unlucky to lose. Quite unlucky not to win.
Right.
Because given the context of their first goal.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll come on to that in a bit. And I think also, do you think it helped us that Frimpong wasn't put on the right wing from the off?
Well, I mean, he comes on and gets the assist for Gakpo. So he clearly did have an impact. And I was looking at that right side with Castagna and Diop and thinking, they're anyone who just runs at them is going to have success.
That's why I was surprised that
it was odd.
Yeah, that he wasn't picked. So they had quite a sort of a quiet half, the first half, Liverpool, and we just managed to contain them. And would you say we were cowardly, unadventurous, or do you think it was just we had to do that because of the amount of players we were missing and through
and
injury
they've still
and
got
AFCON?
Brilliant technical players who can keep the ball off you. I mean, Gravenberg, Wirtz, Szoboszlai. I mean, if you do try and dominate the game against them, it's probably not a game you're going to win. So I thought, to be honest, the tactics were fine. We chose our moments. I thought Raul was actually really, really effective. I don't think Konate could deal with him, weirdly, because Konate's about 8 foot tall.
Because, I mean, we'll look at that.
But he was bouncing off Raul.
Because to be fair to Liverpool, though, in the 11th minute, Curtis Jones did this lovely through ball to him. And then, in Gakpo, he looked like he was playing as though he was offside. You know, when a player knows he's offside, so he doesn't really try. And he looked like he was doing it like that and then skewed the ball wide of Leno's post. And that was odd. But then, of course, you've got our first shot on target in the 17th minute. And like you say, Konate was dragged away because he was with Raul, who then did that wonderful flick to
Wilson. He thought he was offside, and then it's an unbelievable finish.
It was against, I think, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League.
I think 1-on-1, because obviously he's getting on a bit now. He's had a few injuries, so consistently there's probably an argument for Donnarumma or Raya. But 1-on-1 as an opponent, Alisson is just so... In the past, you've seen players faltered because, this is Alisson, and on a 1-on-1 moment, but Wilson just gives him no chance. I mean, it's goes absolutely straight as an arrow right into that corner, and absolutely brilliant goal. And then you got the 5-minute VAR wait. That always seems to happen after one of our goals.
That was a shame. He couldn't really celebrate.
I was just, because I was certain it was offside, but then I think Van Dijk and Kirkes...
Van Dijk, I think, played him on.
No, it was an unbelievable goal. Great movement and vision from Raul. And Raul's touch is... I'm not sure there's any... I'm not sure there's a forward in the Premier League with a better touch than Raul. Better first touch.
That link-up play, I'm hoping it's developing more and more and more.
Unless I'm forgetting a really obvious one. I know Isak on his day has a lovely touch, but I just think that one touch, give and go... I'd back him against anyone. I think physically, obviously, can't get up and down maybe like he used to, and he doesn't score enough goals at the moment, but he was really linking up brilliantly, I thought. And for two really good centre-backs, okay, they're having a bad moment this season, I think he gave them loads to deal with.
Yeah. And then the rest of the half, I think Liverpool were slightly... they just weren't... There's nothing like the speed, directness and aggression that they used to have. Obviously, that's just somebody... I mean, we don't watch them week in, week out like Liverpool fans, obviously, but that was the impression that I...
It's like they've tried to transition into like the City or like Arsenal, this controlling kind of team. And whereas what made them formidable for so long is they were direct with their press and they were direct with their attack with the ball. And again, we don't know if that is the case or if it is just players getting older, transition. But that's how it came across.
That's what it came, And I mean, there were still moments where, we kept... If we did get into the final third, it tended... we weren't direct enough either. I mean... That first half wasn't really great to watch, apart from our goal. So I think at the end of that first half, it was just amazing going in 1-0 up. But then, of course, when Liverpool came out the second half, they did, I think, play a lot better. Yeah. They did score, for example, in the 46th minute. Gakpo scored a goal, but it was offside. And it did seem that they were a lot more direct and more on the front foot in that second half. What do you then think was the key reason why Liverpool were better in that second half? Was it because they just attacked with more energy or more direct, or is it because we just sat back?
I think there was an element of us trying to protect a 1-0 lead. And we just stopped having all the chances that we had. But then obviously, I think they must have had a sense of urgency. Slot must have told them, you need to be more direct. And Conor Bradley, for their goal quotation marks, does a really good direct run.
He does a lovely
and then Wirtz scores. And Wirtz knows he's offside. And I know in the end it's way closer than it seemed initially, but to me he is offside.
From the naked eye, it looked offside. So when they showed it, with the naked eye and the lines on the grass, it looked offside. But they keep saying, oh, well, this is 5 centimetre, give or take.
But there wasn't with Chukwueze.
But there wasn't with Chukwueze when that was ruled offside in the previous game. And what was absolutely hilarious was when the goal was actually given, did you see Kearney and Lukic's face?
Right.
It was genuine shock. It was just, they looked at each other with just, they couldn't believe it.
And also, it's another 5-minute wait. So for both goals at
Yeah.
1-1, with you're waiting and you're just waiting, and neither team wants that.
No. I mean, Wirtz is desperate for a goal because he's having
Yeah,
even though I think if he was playing for us, I don't think we'd say that he's having a mare, but he actually got the highest Opta points, so he made the most impact of all the Liverpool players. That's what Opta was saying.
I wonder what it would be if he didn't get that goal, which he was offside for, though.
I think
That must massively
yeah.
boost it. So
10 points.
I don't think
10 points. So he'd still
he's
be up
not
there.
at the level that he needs to be yet.
Oh,
but
no, well,
he's clearly still a brilliant
He's
player.
still adapting, and he's probably missing the Christmas break that they usually have in Germany. Don't
Maybe.
they? They have a long break in Germany. He's probably not used to that sort of thing in the Prem. So yeah, so now we're 1-1, and we're thinking, this is gonna all just begin to crumble. And I think after that moment, we were kind of. We lost our confidence a little bit, and we weren't really pressing anyone. We were just dropping further back. And there was a point where we were so far back. This is around the 61st minute. Alisson kind of slipped. He had the ball and he slipped, and then he slipped over, and there was no Fulham player in sight.
That's
there was
where
nobody near him.
Having the 33-year-old striker does.
It's a bit of a
Yeah.
bit of an issue, but I thought, why is nobody there running at him? He literally could have just fallen flat on his face and waited for 5 minutes until a Fulham player would have managed to jog up from our final third to theirs. So that was I didn't like that, to be honest. I just thought, let's be more on the front foot, please. Wilson gets a yellow card. I can't even remember why he got a yellow card. I think it was it's a cynical foul, wasn't it, on. Who did he foul? Was it Bradley?
Yeah, Conor Bradley.
Yeah, Conor Bradley, I think. And then you've got the subs. Kearney was taken off for Berger, and Smith Rowe came off for Kevin. Now, we didn't mention Smith Rowe last time, but I think he's becoming a really solid, dependable player. At the moment, without the flair that we kind of are just begging, inviting him to bring.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you think that he is showing more solidity and skill, that close ball skill he's got, without necessarily...
He's not affecting the game as much as you want him to, but he is a really tidy player who, like you said, I think a good word is dependable. He's becoming a dependable player where the ball kind of sticks to him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always doing it last season. He just needs to get those consistent impacts in the game. And I'm not just talking about goals or even assists. I'm talking about you're feeling like he is a danger in that game. Whereas there weren't any key passes. There wasn't any shots or efforts on goal. And I think sometimes he needs to force himself on the play a little bit more.
I mean, his Opta points at the moment are sort of ranging between 12 and 14, so he's having the same kind of impact each game. But it's the fact that at least he's in it, he's there, he's noticeable. You can see that he's having a good impact in stabilising that midfield. At the moment, without that creativity and flair that we kind of really need, but I'm hoping that's another step on that he'll get to. And then I think after about the 75th minute, the game became far more entertaining.
Yeah.
Wirtz, he doesn't look well. I didn't think he looked well at all. He came off for Frimpong, and that's when I think that Liverpool began to be a little bit more threatening.
Well, we hit the bar, didn't we?
Well, we did. There was that, and literally after Frimpong, this is going against what we were saying, but the minute after Frimpong came on, Raul got a break. He lost. He did a poor touch, but anyway, kind of Wilson got the ball and he did that lovely looping shot, but it hit the bar.
Yeah, because Alisson came out.
Yeah,
and he could only do that one thing, and he chipped it. Yeah, so annoying because it would have been such another lovely classic Wilson goal. But then when that hits the bar, you kind of think it's not going to be, we're just going to have to settle for a draw. We just didn't think we were going to have another roller coaster in between it.
No. Oh, and also don't forget, I think McAllister hit the bar with a header.
Yeah. with his classic goal against us every game. It feels
and his
like.
classic 6'5" height. I don't know how. He must have been like a salmon. I think was it. I've forgotten who he like. It was. I think it was Anderson. Should have been marking him.
He didn't have the best game, McAllister. And I think he's had a struggle this season, considering how great he was last season. But he's a really intelligent player. I think he can be like a horrible player to play against.
For the opposition, he's a...
But I think he utilises everything he can.
Absolutely.
And even though, like you said, he's not the biggest, I think he's physically quite a threat. We've seen him shrug off Berger, who's like twice his height in previous games.
He's got a fine salmon-like leap, as I like to say. And also Gakpo hit the post, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, I think he hit the bar and that was offside.
Oh, was it offside?
With the header, yeah.
Okay, so you know, shots on target, I think overall it was 2 each, wasn't it? Shots on both, I presume, for both goals, I would imagine. And then, of course, we have 83rd minute, you've got Kusi Asari on, another sighting on for Raul. And then Wilson went off for Traore. Now, I don't know why. Why did Wilson come off, do you think?
Probably just thought he was,
tired,
yellow card. No more to give, get Traore on for a bit of a wild card.
Yeah, I suppose. And then, of course, then they bring Chiesa on. You know, they've got all these amazing players.
Another one where you're thinking, why wasn't he starting if they're lacking pace and dynamism?
And then Robinson, throughout the match, obviously not to the extent that he normally does because of the way we were playing, but he is finding it still quite difficult to do kind of crosses that meet one of our men.
Yeah, he's doing that thing where he overruns the ball a lot, so he's having to dig the ball from under his foot. So every cross is behind him and kind of too low. Yeah. Whereas I think when he got those 10 assists last season, a lot of it was like in front of him and he was getting really good height on the ball. Whereas now it just seems every cross he does is like already at like behind his foot, it feels like, and just kind of dribbling into the first defender. So
it seems to immediately go to the opposition.
Yeah.
But also, to be fair, there's not enough of our men in the box waiting for it. I think that's another issue. Then we have the awful 7 minutes extra time comes up, and you think, how on earth? Because at this stage, it's like we're hanging on for a draw. And we've got Reed comes on for Lukic, in the 91st minute. And then the inevitable happens and Liverpool score. Anderson doesn't... Anderson should have cleared the cross from...
Frimpong.
It was Frimpong.
Yeah, so he gives him that width.
And then Gakpo literally just uses his lower...
Yeah,
his tummy
his knee.
Yeah, or was it his knee?
Yeah.
To get it into the net. And then you think, right, this is like, and then it's at the end of the 93rd minute, and you think, right, that's it, and it's just like,
there's no way back.
There's no way back. This is terrible. And then Gakpo's taken off, and then Gomez is brought on, I presume, just to shore up for the final couple of minutes. And this is when we have that throw in. It's not a long throw. It's a short throw to Kevin. Kevin then passes it to Reed, who's completely unmarked. Chiesa's the only one that starts to run towards him.
There's no one near him.
But everyone else is back in their in Liverpool's penalty area.
And you'd almost say, if you just freeze framed it there before you know what happened, fair enough. Mark all the players in the box. Let Reed. He hasn't scored since 2023. He's cold in this game. I think that was his first Premier League goal from outside of the box. So if you freeze it there, I know a lot of people afterwards have gone, you can't, it's bad defending. But I think you would have said, yeah, give him that space. And then obviously it's just, it's almost biblical. Well, it's like, how did he manage that? The thing is as well, I remember last season, he would try a few shots from outside the box.
Yeah.
I do think it is something that he's been quietly working on. But obviously, he just doesn't have enough chance to use it. So they all just dropped off and give him this ocean of space. And internally, I was thinking, please don't shoot.
Well, that's that. When have we ever had this experience as a Fulham fan of somebody doing something like that.
Yeah, it's usually usually Liverpool, like McAllister or Trent, or someone scores a worldie against us.
Nobody believed what happened until it happened. And then, of course, then it was like, oh, God, we've got another minute to hold on after that. So 2-2 draw. Not been beaten now for 5 games.
In the Premier League.
League. And it was just hopefully that feel-good kind of atmosphere and confidence won't make us complacent, because there's still a lot of issues in our team. Let's face it. But hopefully we can really kind of galvanise that togetherness to put on a show for our next competitor, which is Chelsea at home on Wednesday. Which by the looks of it, again, I cannot see us winning this. If you look at Chelsea, they're literally like a trawler of the football world, where they just, I mean, their current squad is something like 1.3 to 1.6 billion pounds.
Yeah,
and it's literally like they're just trawling all of this amazing talent. I mean, the talent they've got in that squad is just,
they are a mess.
It's
What we're going to have to lean
they
on.
don't look like it, though.
Well, I think recently, they just lost their manager, so they must do.
No, I apologise. In terms of the players they've got, they're just gems. But yeah. Player for player, squad for squad. Yeah, there's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison.
But what we're going to have to lean on, like we did against Liverpool, is being solid, being together. I know these are awful cliches. I'm sorry, but it's that chemistry. And I know these all sound like intangible, like not real things, but like they are real things when Chelsea don't know who's going to be managing them at that point. They don't know who's going to be playing. They don't know they're going to be playing with. They know it's going to be Senior now, but I don't think there's enough time for him to take charge unless he has the training session today.
Oh, I see.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens. So I think everything's up in the air with them, and what we have to lean on is the fact that these players are building up a bit of a relationship with each other now. We've got partnerships like Wilson and Jimenez. Kearney looks like he's bedding into the team, keeping possession well. Robinson really looks like he's getting up to speed. Cuenca's building up a partnership. So we have all these things we can rely on, whereas Chelsea, it's just like they've almost got too much talent.
Well, I'm just writing down a few of the names here. Reece is, and he's becoming Reece James is really becoming like the lieutenant on the pitch, where he seems to be running everything. He's like the Roy Keane,
former Robinson teammate at Wigan.
Indeed,
that's a cool fullback pairing. Robinson and James.
They are, and so he's very scary in how good he is and how he gets them going. You got Cole Palmer, he's quite good, I believe. Casado, not bad. And Delap, I don't know whether, do you reckon Delap will start?
Probably not. It'll be João Pedro.
But he hasn't, I don't think he's been at the races, really, has he?
No, but I think they like him for his link-up play. Again, you tell me. It's no one knows. I just really feel like the absolute best scenario would be if Josh King could score against them.
If
he's fit.
I doubt he's fit, and I don't think Tete's going to be fit. Obviously, Muniz isn't going to be fit. Sessegnon isn't going to be fit.
Because we really deserve that after what the away game was.
Well, I think there's that feeling of injustice, which is
rightfully
ridiculous.
so. No, it wasn't.
Well, injustice. But and you think, I just can't see us being able to be a team with this amazing squad. I even if they haven't got a manager, installed, because literally, like I said, like this huge conglomerate, Blueco, who literally can buy up all these players and manage to figure out a way in which to get over the fair play system. They've brought in Liam Rossignol. Is he? And again, is it because, I mean, why have they chosen him? Is it because he'll do as they want him to, like he's an employee?
Yeah.
Because apparently he's really good. He's a really promising manager.
Did a great job at Strasbourg.
Yeah.
But Hull was up and down.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was going to be the next Fulham manager after Silva.
That's the sort of arc that I think a lot of people felt.
So it might be too quick.
It may be, but you never know with someone who's got the smarts like he has. It might be the making of him.
Yeah.
You know, he might do really well. But not obviously tomorrow. Don't want it to happen tomorrow.
Well, if he's in charge.
Yeah, well, I would imagine he would be. So yeah, we're very nervous about the match tomorrow. But I do hope we play like we did at the end of that Liverpool match.
Yeah,
that'd be really great. And also for Harry Wilson to continue his rich vein of form.
Yeah, 6 goals now.
Yeah.
6.
So, listeners, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Do join us when we review the Chelsea match that's going to be played tomorrow, and take care.